In this lesson, we're going to be talking about an advanced strategy a lot of mass posters use. You've probably seen people out there like this. If you search for something like moving, you'll see one person's ads are everywhere, and you're not sure how he or she did it. Then when you click on the ad, it looks like this. All the information is on the picture, and there's just a little bit of body text just to put something there. People use this strategy for two reasons. First, Craigslist can't read image ads, so you can use the same image across multiple accounts and IP addresses, and the Craigslist robot won't know you're using duplicate content. This saves you time because you don't have to write a bunch of different body texts to not get flagged. And if you can create a really persuasive ad picture, you'd want to be able to mass post it. Secondly, people do this so competitors can't flag their ads. Competitors can't search by keywords to find you because all the keywords are on the picture. A lot of people go online and they see people doing this strategy and they try to copy it, and most of them fail. All their ads get flagged. This is happening because they don't realize you need 4 levels of picture variation. First, your image file names need to be varied. You can't have image named madead1, madead2, madead3.jpg be posted to the same account. Craigslist catches on. You definitely can't have the same file name for all your pictures. Second, you need to change your picture's dimensions. So 800 by 600 pixels, 730 by 580 pixels, etc. Third, you need to create pixel color variation. You can achieve this by creating colored borders around your picture ad. Lastly, you need file size variation. So 446 kilobytes, 438 kilobytes, etc. You can change all 4 of these things in an image editor of your choice. This strategy works because to Craigslist, your pictures all look completely different, but to the human eye, they all look the same. Okay, so I'm actually going to show you guys now how to achieve image variation. I'm going to be using an image editor. It's called Adobe Photoshop. This is the best image editor you can get. It's not only the best, but it's the fastest to use. So if you're going to pick an image editor to use, I highly recommend Adobe Photoshop. You can no longer buy it, but you can get a license to use it. It's $10 a month, which is really not that much at all, and you only really need this for a month just to create your ad image and then also to just create, hundreds of variations of it. So this is what you do to create a variation. So first we're going to go to File. We're in Adobe now, sorry. We're going to go to File here. Then we're going to go to New. And then now you have your title name here, right? So I told you you can't have, made ad 1 and then your next one be made ad 2. So honestly, just type in gibberish, I think. That ends up being the best. Then you go by pixels. 800 by 600 pixels with a 96 pixels per inch resolution. That is the optimal size on Craigslist. So you start off here, and then to vary it, you just go down from there. So you go to 580, then later you may make this 760, and then, maybe next you use 760 and 600, etc. But the starting place is 800 by 600 pixels and 96 resolution. So now we have file name variation, we have picture dimension variation. Now we're going to do pixel color variation. So we put OK. And you know what? Let's create a few of these. So we'll go to New. Okay, so we've created 4 different ones, and they all have different file names and different dimension variations. So you have this one here, this one, and that one. Okay, so next what we're going to do is we're going to color them all differently. So what you want to go to is your bucket tool here, right? And make sure sometimes you won't see the bucket tool because it'll be on gradient. So then what you'll see is the gradient there. So you just hold it down and then go to bucket. And then you click here on the first square and you choose your color. So, you can choose anything. So let's choose this for this one. Choose this color for this one. Okay, so there we have our 4 colors. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now what we're going to do is I have an ad here on the upper left-hand corner here. So this is just a handyman ad that I created. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this handyman ad and we're going to stick it in there and drag it in. Now it takes up the whole thing because it's actually 800 by 600 pixels here. So what we want to do is make it a little smaller. And there, now we have a colored border. If you want to resize it ever again, just press Command T. That goes to transform mode, and then it'll take you back to this. All right, and then we'll do it for the other ones. And then you hit enter to resize it. All right, so now we have color variation. Now the last thing we need is file size variation. So we're going to go to here, we're going to go to save. And then what you'll have here is this, you're going to have this saved to a location. So right now it's desktop. Then here in the format, you click here. Right now it's in Photoshop format, so it'll save it as a Photoshop project file. But you can save it as an image file. So you have, bitmap, you have JPEG, JPEG 2000, PNG you're probably familiar with. So I usually go with JPEG. It's because on this mode you can actually change the quality very easily. So I click JPEG here, and then I go to save. Now with JPEG it takes you this quality option, and it automatically goes to 8, but you can go from 1 to 11, or to 12 rather. So I'll just go by, we'll go with 8 on this. We'll go with 8 on this one. And you can actually see the size. So the size here is 199.8 kilobytes. So you click OK. And then we go to this one. We go to save. JPEG. And let's go this one, let's take it to 6. That's 159 kilobytes. File. And we'll take this to 10. That's 281. $167. And that's it. So we achieved file variation. So we have our 4 pictures here. And now all these pictures have file name variation, picture dimension variation, pixel color variation, and file size variation. If every ad you post has a different picture in it like this, and the body texts are all little short things that you write differently, then you won't be flagged. That's why mass posters use this strategy. Okay, now I want to show you guys how to keep track of all this so you're not accidentally using duplicate pictures. So first you want to use Excel here, and I created different columns. So first we have Craigslist account, then the file name, so the gibberish, then the width and the length, these are the dimensions, and then the quality, that's the 1 through 12, and then the color that you used. So first we're going to look at width and length. Basically what you want to do here, if we start off with 800 and 600, what we can then do to kind of make this really organized is, say we start at 600, then we can go to 590, 580, 570, 560, 550, 540, 530, 520, 510 to 500. And then the width, we keep all 800. So you see here now we have, what do we have here? We have 11 different variations. Then we can keep going from there. So now we're at 800, so how about go to 790? And I'm just choosing to go by intervals of 10. You can go by intervals of 5, 2, but I just go by 10 to be safe so that it's not too similar, the dimensions. So then we go 790, right? And then what we can do is you just take all this and you copy it again. and then you have your next set at 790. I stop at 500 because I think after 500, it gets a little too distorted. So just kind of play around with that with your image size, and you don't want to distort it too much. In terms of the image quality, if we just put all of these at 12, so say we just do all the 800s at 12, these would all be different file sizes because the width and the lengths are different, and the width and the length actually also affects the file size. But if you want to be safe and you feel that 800 by 600 at a 12 quality is going to be too similar to 800 to 590 at a 12 quality, then you can change this up if you think the file sizes are going to be too similar. So you can go 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. And there, now you have a lot of variation. But what I found is it actually works fine, I think, to keep it all at 12. Experiment with this and see if you're getting flagged. But from everything I've done, I feel this works. And then lastly, you can put the color here. In the Adobe Photoshop, there's actually color codes. So if I open Adobe here, so every time you move around the colors here, say move to green, the color code's right here. If you go to this one, the color code changes. So you can just copy and paste that color code in there. Okay, and then after that, you just keep going down all the way down until maybe getting to 700. And once you get to 700, then, if you go below that, it might be too distorted, so you can stop. But if you still need more pictures, you can just get more granular. You can try to risk it. So instead of, 800 by 600, all this, then you can start filling in between. So how about 799 by 600? I haven't tested at that granularity, but I'm assuming it'll be the same. It'll still pass. I just say go with the big numbers first just to be safe, so go by 10s, and then if you keep needing more ads, then you can go by 1s. And then here you just fill out, you fill out your Craigslist account and your file names, which is all gibberish, right? And that's just a good way to, keep track of everything. Just spend spend a few hours and just create a bunch of different versions of your image ad and just stick them all in a folder. And every time you need one, just pull it out and use it. Okay, that's it. I'll see you guys in the next lesson.